when John the Baptist sees Jesus, he points him out to his disciples and says, "This is the Lamb of God, the one who takes away the sin of the world." Two of the disciples follow after Jesus, and they say, "We want to come and see where you are staying." That's an indication that they want to spend time with him. They want to get to know him. They want to learn from him. That's what you would do with a rabbi. That's how you would become somebody's disciple. Well, one of them, a guy called Andrew, a fisherman, he goes away and finds his brother Peter, and he brings him to see where Jesus is, to meet him, to begin to learn from him as well. Then Jesus finds a guy called Philip. It's possible that he is the other, as yet unnamed disciple, but that's not explicitly stated. And he encourages him to follow him. Philip goes and finds his friend Nathaniel and brings Nathaniel to Jesus. And there's this interesting conversation at the end of John's Gospel where Jesus is talking and saying, "I already know you, Nathaniel. I've already seen about your life." But I want to pick up a couple of things from this incredible story at the start of John's Gospel. And the first thing is this: what is a disciple? A disciple is somebody who wants to spend time with Jesus, to get to know him, to follow him, to learn from him. But also a disciple is somebody who goes and finds others and invites them to come and see and come and follow Jesus. And it's helpful to think in those terms because we can make discipleship very complicated, can't we? But that's what it is at heart. It's about being people who want to see and to know Jesus and who invite others to come and see and know Jesus. And there's always that dynamic going on that we are getting to know Jesus more and more. But as we get to know Jesus more and more, we want others to get to know him, to get to see him as well, because we want them to benefit in the same way that we have. And there should be something natural about that overflows in our lives. Dare I say it, that if we're not wanting others to come and get to know Jesus, then it leaves questions about how much he has yet had an effect on our own lives, how well we know him. And so we're thinking about this theme of sharing our faith, sharing the good news about Jesus with others. And the two aspects to it. First of all, there is the dynamic of go and tell, that Jesus sends us out to make disciples. And secondly, that means that there is an invitation for people to come and see. Now, we often use that language in church context to distinguish between the sense that go and tell means that we go and we tell people the gospel directly. There's a strong element about it. And we sometimes think about people that have specific evangelistic gifts, but what we actually begin to see is that it is not just about those with specific evangelistic gifts. And we also use the language of come and see to think about how we can encourage people to come and get a sense of what Christian faith is about. And sometimes that means that we put on events as churches. Our church would do that we might describe as evangelistic or seeker sensitive. where we invite people in to hear the gospel, or to build the bridges, to build a friendship, so that later they will come back to hear the gospel. And all of that is good stuff. But I want to suggest that when we're thinking about come and see, primarily it's not come and see at church, but it's an invitation to come and see us as Christians as we live our lives day to day, week to week. Because if Christ dwells in me, then an invitation to come and see is an invitation to come and get to know me, because that's where they're going to see Jesus and they're going to hear about Jesus as I share the good news, as I tell them stories about Jesus, as I pray, as I introduce them to him. And what that means is that come and see is an invitation to discover how Christians face all of the different challenges of life and all of the highs as well as the lows of life with Jesus. And so we'll want to think about what does it mean to follow Jesus and to know Jesus and to share Jesus whenever we or those we are concerned about, those we love, those we are trying to reach, go through suffering or grief or specific circumstances. It will also mean, how do we share Jesus in the joys and triumphs and celebrations of life as well? And what that means is that if come and see is an invitation to come with us, then go and tell and come and see are not decoupled. They go hand in hand together, that we are sent out. Go and tell in order to invite people to come and see.